we have YouTube Live as well. So welcome to our live broadcast. It is Tuesday evening. Tonight we are going to be discussing why women should consider eating protein in moderation. And if you do follow a low carb, high fat type of lifestyle, then protein is key in helping you find the balance in what it is you're doing with your nutrition. So if you are new, welcome. We are broadcasting live simultaneously on Facebook and YouTube. I do my best to engage with both audiences at the same time by looking down the center of my viewing here. I have two cameras set up, so I try to make sure I pay equal attention to both audiences here. Welcome. Please take a second to say hello. Let me know where you're joining in from. Let me know if you are participating in one of our courses and what month you're in. I always like to make sure that I welcome you as well as one of our students. If you are jumping on new, I always recommend hitting that like button on Facebook or the subscribe button on YouTube so that you will be notified when we go live. Our live schedule is generally Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. In this community and on this forum, we discuss topics related to intermittent fasting and today's aging woman. And tonight we are going to be discussing protein and why women should consider going a little bit more moderate in their protein intake. And the way I teach the course that I run on intermittent fasting for aging women, we really strive for a nutritional lifestyle that is geared around a high-fat, moderate protein, and a conscious carbohydrate way of living. We try to avoid anything where we have to count calories, grams, weigh anything, put things in fancy little containers, or become too obsessive about what it is we're putting in our nutritional life. So today, hopefully, I'm going to share with you some thoughts behind why women should really consider going moderate on their protein and not seek out those high protein types of lifestyle. And I will kind of share with you a little bit about how I go about doing that for myself and how I try to teach other women to do the same thing. So depending on where you look, there's a range of guidelines as far as what women should consider for their protein intake. And it goes anywhere from 0.5 grams to 1.5 grams per kilo of body weight. So I did a little math and I calculated that out for myself, and that would be anywhere from 36 grams to 109 grams for myself. That's a big range as far as protein grams go in any given day. 0.5 obviously would be the lower end, 1.5 obviously the higher end. I did sort of in the middle with a 0.8, which was another dietary guideline, and that came out to about 58 grams. That seems like even too big of a number if you think about that number as a standalone, but if you are really paying attention to the grams of carbohydrates that you are taking in on a day, it's really easy to exceed even that median point of the 0.8 grams for a body weight on a woman. Now, some of the reasons that we want to stay away from over consuming our protein is the simple fact that we just don't need it and our bodies can't break it down, especially as we start to age. So overconsumption of protein really leads to overconsumption of a calorie intake in any given day. And if we're not utilizing those calories or that protein, then it just becomes unused energy in our body and is converted into sugar, which will eventually sit on our body as beautiful cellulite. And we don't want that to happen. So we have to really think about what it is we're doing with our protein intake. And as a society in general, I know especially here in the US, I know some of my international women are very fortunate in that they have other different guidelines that they live by dietarily. But for us here in the United States, we overconsume food in general. So the average portion size of protein has always been sort of recommended to fit in the palm of your hand, or about 3 ounces per serving. The average hamburger served in any restaurant is generally over 4 ounces. So you're already over consuming protein by just a standard restaurant style hamburger, not factoring in any other protein that you've consumed in a day. So if you are that woman that is seeking out protein shakes or extra sources of protein thinking that you have to supplement, hopefully I'll be able to share with you tonight why it is that is not necessary and how that little step of over supplementation might be causing you to struggle with the weight loss or struggle with the fat loss, or might have you stuck in a plateau that you can't get yourself out of. Remember, with intermittent fasting, it's rarely the fasting that's causing us the problems, but it's what we're deciding to do within our feasting window that is usually keeping us from yielding the best result. So we're going to see if we can fix that a little bit for you guys tonight. So some ways that you can go about monitoring your protein intake without becoming obsessive about it, or what I really like to call not living your authentic life. So when you have to micromanage your nutritional intake on any given day, to me, that's not living authentically. Like you're stuck to a pen and paper or some app on a phone and you have to calculate everything out before you can consume everything. Now, in certain situations, that is fine. If you're trying to reach some physique goal, or maybe you have some very specific health considerations that you're looking into where you really do have to kind of monitor grams per day, then I say yes, those are the exceptions. But for the average woman on a day-to-day basis, I really, really like to emphasize like eating in a mindful way or eating intuitively. So just being able to look at food and make a decision on whether that is something that you need, something you want, or something that you might be able to just kind of push off and do without. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of some grams of protein that are present in some everyday foods that most of us are consuming, especially on a high-fat, low-carb type of lifestyle, or what we're trying to achieve from our intermittent fasting window and feasting windows, with being able to really utilize the fat adaptation process and reach those initial levels of autophagy or healing in our body. So some grams of protein on some everyday foods that we're consuming and probably over consuming. So one egg has 6 grams of protein. Now keep in mind, all of these numbers are on average and they're going to plus or minus a little bit, but just think about these on an average. So one egg is 6 grams. 3 ounces of turkey breast is 26 grams. And if you could see what 3 ounces of turkey breast is, it's almost guaranteed that we're over consuming just turkey breast. 3 ounces of salmon, 17 grams. 3 ounces of pumpkin seeds, very typical snack when we're snacking on a low carb, high fat type of lifestyle, 26 grams of protein. Pistachios, 3 ounces, 18 grams. 3 ounces of macadamia nuts, 7 grams. A half a cup of uncooked black rice. Black rice is like the best rice that you can be consuming, 10 grams. 3/4 cup of beans, 10 grams. Pomegranates, so one whole pomegranate fruit would have 5 grams. And then avocado, 4 grams, grapefruit, 2 grams, and then a wheatgrass protein, very easily slipped into some sort of protein shake or fat shake that you're doing to utilize the benefits of wheatgrass, would add an extra 2 grams of protein in your day. So here's where being very conscious about your protein intake comes in. When you think about the foods that you're consuming in a day, almost all foods have some sort of protein in them. And then if we're eating in abundance, those higher protein foods, and then snacking on some of the lower protein foods, and lo and behold, we add a nice little protein shake in there, or your collagen proteins, or you have a cup of bone broth or something, you can see how easily you could be over proteining your body, thus leading yourself in a situation where you're either going to be stuck in a plateau where you're not losing weight, or you won't be able to fully take advantage of what you're trying to do in your fasting window because you just have way too many calories that you're consuming in your feasting window, or way too many of the wrong types of macronutrients that your body just can't burn off. Remember this also. We think as a society that we need an abundance of protein to build lean muscle, when the reality is being in a truly fasted state actually increases the natural production of your human growth hormone, which does exactly the same thing. No need to consume anything extra. Your body knows how to do that on its own. So if we concentrate on putting our body in a truly fasted state, giving ourselves the opportunity to amp up what our body already knows how to do, which is produce human growth hormone, we don't have to rely on consuming protein to get the same benefit. So that right there is how we can easily slash some extra calories and slash some of those extra protein grams by just being in a truly fasted state, taking advantage of that fat adaptation and taking advantage of the opportunity for our body to produce its own human growth hormone. So how do we go about doing this? How do we break those old habits and just let go of all of that extra protein? Well, in the course that we teach, one phrase that we often talk about is hungry is where the magic happens. And oftentimes we as women and as a nation as a whole and as a country as a whole are not comfortable with hunger. We look at hunger as a negative. Hunger is sort of perceived as a bad thing. It's some place where we're uncomfortable. It's something that we have been taught to feed. If we can really become confident and comfortable in a state of hungry, then it's much easier for us to eat intuitively, stay within the confines and the boundaries that we've established in our feasting window, and maintain a healthy balance of higher fats, moderate proteins, and conscious carbohydrates without overdoing any one of those macronutrients, which could put us in a less than desirable state with what we're trying to achieve with our fasting and our feasting. So if you are over consuming protein, if you feel like you have to seek out protein at every meal, trust me, you do not have to. One of the ways that I personally manage my protein intake and make sure that I'm not over consuming protein is I don't actively seek out protein in my day. If it's naturally occurring, it's fine, and I generally cut down the servings into a half of a serving. So I can go a day or two without any sort of lean protein whatsoever. I don't miss it, my body doesn't need it, and I know that I'm getting enough protein in just some of the other little things, like I described on the list of protein fortified foods that I read off to you, that I get enough in a day, and because I'm putting myself in a truly fasted state for enough amount of time for my body to truly become fat adaptive and really produce those human growth hormones that my body needs to maintain the lean muscle that I want, then I don't panic anymore about protein. And I just let it naturally occur in my life. When I put a plate of food in front of me in my feasting window, the majority of my calories are coming from real food fats with a moderate and very, very moderate amount of calories coming from protein, letting it naturally occur, not seeking it out at every meal that I have, and then making sure that I have an abundance of what I call conscious carbohydrates on my plate as well, which are usually also covered in a nice healthy fat. So that is how I have really been able to naturally reduce my protein intake so that I'm no longer over consuming that protein, which is leading to too many calories in a day, which are not being consumed by my body, and then ending up as just extra sugars and extra fat and extra weight on my body that I no longer want to have hanging around. And we all know as aging women that our bodies have a really hard time burning off those extra calories. And so no need to put them in if our body can't burn them off. And no need to feel like we have to over exercise to burn off those extra calories as well. We should be very comfortable in a place that we're at with our fasting and our feasting where exercise is really a pleasure that we do and not a chore and a panic thing that we do to kind of make up for some food mistakes that we're making. We should really be able to do moderation or exercise in a moderate way now and for pure joy. So hopefully that gives you some help as far as the protein thing. I know protein comes up a lot. Another little note about protein, if you are a woman and you're still consuming whey protein and you're finding it difficult for you to drop weight, or you're feeling bloated or feeling like you're retaining a lot of water, make sure that you're reading the protein that you are consuming, whether it be in a full protein shake or a meal replacement type of shake. Whey protein has been shown for a lot of women, of course not all women, but for a lot of women to cause bloating, water retention, and constipation. All three of those things are the things that we do not want to feel when we're trying to lean out our body. So that could be a thing that could be causing you one of those three problems or all three of those problems. The best way to test that out is to give it what I call the 7-day test. go without whey protein for 7 days and see how your body responds. If you are feeling leaner, if you feel like you've dropped some body weight, maybe it won't show up on a scale, but you might notice it visually, or you might notice it by the way that your clothes are feeling, then you probably had a water release, meaning that the inflammation in your body is starting to go away. Or if you are a woman who suffers from constipation regularly, it could also be associated with whey protein. So keep those things in mind. If you're suffering from any of those things, I would ditch the whey protein for a week and give it a test. If you find that you're seeing relief from those 3 things, then I highly recommend switching over to some sort of vegan brand of protein supplementation, whether it be a meal replacement shake or hopefully just a meal replacement shake. Hopefully you're not supplementing with pure protein shakes. That you might see some relief from those things just from switching over to more of a vegan style of protein. Remember, you don't have to seek out protein shakes. There's really no nutritional value and no need to put that much concentrated protein in your body in a shake. You're going to get it through real food. Okay, let me see if I have questions that I can answer or comments I can answer, and I'll welcome everybody. I'm going to go to Facebook first since YouTube, you were here with us yesterday, and I'll see if I can welcome everybody and see if there's any questions. Janet, hello. I saw Suzanne is on. Hello. Margaret is here. Good to have you. Martina, July 1st class, grad, down 42 pounds since June, feeling better than ever. Martina, that is 42 pounds since June. That's June, July, August. That's 3 months. That's amazing. Congratulations. And I know Janet, she had a great success story. I think we shared a couple weeks ago. Christina is here. Joy is here. August 12th group. My husband is here. Christy from Australia. Good morning, Christy. Robin from Puerto Rico did 20 hours today. Pray for us. Maria is coming. Oh, Robin. Oh, I'm so sorry. Nancy. Hi, y'all. Nancy from North Carolina. Recent graduate of August 19th group and impatiently awaiting the start of the alumni course. Oh, a couple more weeks. Kara and I are working diligently to put some final touches on the alumni course, and we're super, super excited for you guys. Christina from Minnesota. Martina. Rita. I'm doing a happy dance. Blood work is back. Okay, here we go. You guys listen up for some blood work. Rita. Cholesterol down from 202 to 152. That's amazing. That's 50 points. And my A1C down from 6.4 to 5.6. So technically you're not diabetic anymore. Intermittent fasting is the way to go. Rita, congratulations. Those are some awesome numbers, girlfriend. So if you are in our group of intermittent fasting women in our course, we have changed the way that we go to get blood work done at the doctor's office. We go do a happy dance on the way in to give blood. We're super eager. We're like, take it, take it. We can't wait to get the results back. No more dreading going to the doctor to get blood work done. We are super excited to give our blood and get those results back. Rita, hello from North Carolina. Jody, grateful to have made it to 2 live broadcasts today. I know, thanks. Graduate of July 1st group, the alumni group, and September self-care. Life has been crazy for me lately. Thank you for all that you do. Wow, you're hitting all the good stuff, Jody. Thank you for being so present with me. I appreciate it. Mary, let's see. Puerto Rico. Oh my gosh, we're going to be raising money forever, you guys. Vicky from California. Hello. Brendy. Newbie Brendy from Kuala Lumpur. Wow, Malaysia. Excited to see you live today. I'm excited to see you too, Brendy. Welcome. Maria, hello. Peggy, I so agree. Don't want to have to count and keep track of anything. Nope, no doing that. I know, pumpkin seeds were crazy. Hopefully I wrote that down right. I looked at it twice. It was crazy. Martina, let's see, just want to clarify, is 0.5 or 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of lean body weight right? Yeah, it was 0.5 to 1.5. It depends on whose site you're looking at and where you're looking, per kilogram of body weight. Yes. It didn't say lean body weight. It just said body weight. Brandy, August 12th here. Thank you for this topic. Needed to hear that. Double check the pumpkin seed grams. That does seem pretty high. Maybe they were doing a different measurement of it. Maybe it wasn't the same, like 3 ounces or whatever. So, but it was high. I know that. Sharon, made it to 23 hours today. Awesome. Becky, August 12th, down 20 pounds in the first 20 days. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Then stuck there for 16 days, now dropping again 4 pounds. Yeah, sometimes you do. You balance out, but you just dropped again, so that's a great release. I forgot to say I got the amazing results from July 21st this past week, so I can't wait for the next blood work. Awesome. Congrats. Janet from Houston, hello. And Karen doing 24, it seems to work for me. Yeah, Karen, 20-hour fasting seems to be the sweet spot for most women, so hang out there. Kelly, hello. Brown Eyes, hello. May May from Cuba, welcome. How are you doing over there in Cuba, May May? Patricia from the UK, I'm awake. Yeah, girlfriend, you're up late, right? Yvonne, Facebook doesn't seem to be responding. I know, Yvonne, I don't know. I'm glad we're up over here. I don't know. Facebook's been, I think they're changing some platform things, so that's probably it. Kelly, August course and the end of the month alumni. Jill from Washington Hill, and current student from Antelope Valley. Welcome. Rhonda Valdez from Canada, August 12th. Doreen, hello. Miss Y. Carroll. Yvette, right? I think that, yep, Yvette. Cool. Tori from San Antonio, 917 course. Welcome, Tori. Randy from Baltimore, in week 3 of the course, trying 20-hour fasting, 4-hour feasting protocol for some days this week. Did well the last 2 days, feeling good. Oh, awesome. Must be balancing out for you. Nancy, hello from Wisconsin. Jill, love my containers still, but I don't miss cleaning them all. I know, Jill. Jack, hello. Nellie from El Paso. Rhonda, thanks for the guidance. I found my sweet spot. Awesome. 20 hours is great. Marina, I thought we needed protein 3 servings a day because our body doesn't store it. I am not that hungry since doing IF 1 meal and I'm full usually. Yeah, that's all you need. Birdie, hello. Birdie, if I eat too much, I feel bloated. Yeah. Okay, so eat to satisfied feelings. Don't feed a full body. Jen, I have a hard time with moderating my protein intake. I always seem to consume more than I probably should. You have to find little areas where you can just skip it. And oftentimes it could be with lean proteins. You don't need to necessarily have a lean protein on every meal. Yvonne, that's what I tell my friends that are concerned with my vegan meals. I eat so many leafy greens, veggies, nuts, and seeds. I'm not worried about it at all. Where do cows get their protein from? Yeah, I don't know. Right? They're huge. Probably from the dang hormones we stuff in them. We won't even go there. Jill, veggies help fill me up, but I still probably eat too much protein. I also think it's because it's quicker sometimes. Yeah, it can be. I'm a vegetarian and therefore guess I have always a different approach to protein. Yeah, Valdez, that's probably a good approach. Birdie, you think protein is in everything? Yeah, I mean, you can get protein from broccoli. So you're not going to be missing out on protein just because you're eating vegan or vegetarian. Doesn't extra protein turn into glucose? I thought I heard that. Yeah, so sugars basically. And then unused sugars sit on your body and turn into fat and problems. So we don't want that. Patty, oh, thank you, Patty. Let's see, drinking lemon water with fast, is that okay? Nope, not at all. It's not okay if you want to be in a truly fasted state. Birdie, love riding my exercise bike now because I know I don't have to do it, right? That's the best. Denise, no lemon water, plain water, or nothing. Yep. Patty, what is the best thing to eat when breaking your 16 to 20 hour fast? I tend to feel miserable after I eat. If you're feeling miserable, you're probably eating too many carbs or maybe too much protein when you're breaking your fast. I like to do a liquid meal replacement, high in fat. Sometimes I suggest doing an olive or two to just sort of ease into your break fast. Having an olive or two and then maybe waiting 15 or 20 minutes and see how your body responds to that. And then you're more likely to eat or ease into your feast a little slowly. Also, once you really, what I call strengthen your fasting muscles, then you don't feel as panicked when you're breaking your fast. So you tend to go into it a little slower, or you might even push it an hour or two more. So that just comes with time and consistency. Sparkling water might help you break into your feasting window a little more controlled. If you find that you're kind of binging, I would remove binge type of food out of your reach. So I know in our house we have 4 bowls of different types of nuts sitting on our counter, and I can't go anywhere near that when I am getting ready to break my fast, because I will just binge eat them because they're readily available. So have a meal planned out that's high fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrate, or an above ground vegetable carbohydrate, and you'll tend to eat that a little slower, and it'll kind of set into your system easier, and you won't feel bloated and kind of sick. No lemon water. Nope. Hello, I was doing 16-8 with ease, and so I started a midweek longer fast. I've done a 40, a 36, and a 42, and a 24. Love it, but now my daily 16 is challenging. Any advice? My advice is to not really go past 23 hours. So don't really go past what we call a dinner to dinner fast. There's no need for it really. If you're in a truly fasted state and you're not trying to heal a deep medical thing, which you shouldn't do on your own anyways, and you're just trying to heal some, hormone imbalances, or maybe get your blood sugars under control and stuff like that. A dinner to dinner fast is really as long as you should really go. Maybe an occasional 30-hour fast. We do, my husband and I do a brunch fast where we like to enjoy breakfast with the family on Sunday. We start our fast a little earlier Sunday evening and go to Monday night. So that ends up being about a 28 to 30-hour fast. But really, you don't need to do much more than that. So anything more than, I think, a 36-hour fast, you're at risk of actually lowering your metabolic rate. We don't want to do that. We want to have the ability to keep our metabolic rate high. And we teach this in the course, the benefits of having a high metabolic rate from being in a consistent fasting sort of window where you're not stretching it too far. And then that really does aid in the optimal fat adaptation and fat burning. So you might have done something like that, Tamara. What if I go over my fats? Well, here's the thing with fats. If you understand what fats do for you and your hunger hormones, it's kind of hard to overdo real food fats. So oils, avocados, nuts, olives, those kind of things. Your body will send you signals. So if you're tuned into the signs and signals that your body's sending you, it's hard to overeat fats. Could you imagine eating if you were to have a bag of avocados, 4 or 5 avocados in your house, you can't eat 4 or 5 avocados. You would probably be sick. You can eat an entire bag of fatty potato chips. So what you want to do is make sure that you're eating good quality, real food fats. They make your body feel satiated, and if you're tuned into that feeling and you know the feeling of comfortable fullness, it's really hard to overeat fats. I read some advice today about eating even nuts, and that you should really eat raw unsalted nuts versus roasted salted nuts, because the flavor sensation of roasted salted nuts is hard to satisfy. You just want to eat more and more and more because they taste so good. Where raw nuts don't really have that flavor sensation, you can eat a few and feel satisfied. So, that's a little trick too in breaking the habit of over consuming nuts. And I thought about that and I'm like, oh yeah, I have salted pecans, and I could eat them in abundance, but the raw unsalted ones, 1 or 2 and I'm good to go. So be aware of those sort of things and what your taste buds are more inclined to be more drawn to and be more addicted to. And then see if you can find a variation of the same quality food that maybe just doesn't have that same addictive type of property. Okay, so how many carbs per day do you suggest? I don't suggest anything. It depends on kind of what your food philosophy is. I think that, let me answer this question real quick. Flavored mineral water, nope, you can't have that either if you want to be in a truly fasted state. And we teach all that in the course. Okay, so what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Truly fasted state or something. If someone remembers where I was talking about, you can remind me. I'll say my announcements, and if it comes back to my head, I'll bring it back up. So a couple of things. We are still collecting money for the Hurricane Harvey donations. I think we're getting close to $4,000. So that's awesome. Carbs. Okay, I'll go back to carbs. So Hurricane Harvey, Kara is going to be sending out an email to everyone on our email list either today or tomorrow with a link to where you can donate money if you don't want to join our course, or you've already joined the course but you would like to donate. There will be a place where you can donate, and then we'll put that in the big lump that we're also donating. Everyone who joins our course, whether it's the alumni course or the regular intermittent fasting for today's Aging Women course, in the month of September, we are donating a portion of those proceeds to the Hurricane Harvey relief effort via Team Rubicon, which is a veteran-run nonprofit organization who goes down and helps people in situations like hurricane situations. So helping two causes, the hurricane victims as well as Team Rubicon. And we're doing that because of your guys' generosity and willingness to join our course in September. So that's a great thing. The second thing is everyone who joins our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Women course that starts on Saturday has an opportunity to be selected in a drawing for a free consult call with me to help you figure out your intermittent fasting journey and the lifestyle that you would like to put together for yourself while you're in our course. You will get your consult call on somewhere around the third week of the course. So all the names of the people who are registering this week will have your name in a drawing, and we will be picking 5. So make sure you get registered this week if you're kind of on the fence, and you'll be able to be part of that drawing. And we're doing that to kind of help get those enrollments up this month so we can have a bigger donation to Hurricane Harvey. So hopefully that will work. The link for the course has been posted in both places, so just look for it. It's a bit.ly link, and it says IF group, I think. And you can join us that way. I work at the VA, and some of my co-workers would like this address for. Yeah, totally. We'll give it to you, Rita, and then you could forward it to your friends, and then we'll put it all together as a donation from us as the community that we have here. So YouTube, Patty, the link's on there for you. Okay, so carbs. How many grams of carbs should you eat in a day? Again, there's a bunch of different food philosophies that people follow. So if you're following a ketogenic type of diet, it's highly recommended that you shouldn't have more than, I think, 15 or 20 grams of carbs in a day. And there's different levels of like the keto diet and a low carb, high fat lifestyle. So it kind of depends on where you fall into that. I do know that the lower end, the very, very strict end of a low carb diet is something that a lot of people choose not to maintain and end up quitting. And what we really try to strive for with the philosophy and the way that I teach adapting a nutritional lifestyle is living your most authentic life. So you choose the way you like to eat that makes you look and feel your best while still living your most authentic life. And oftentimes going really extremely low on carbohydrates, you can't live your life authentically unless you're just that person who lives your life that way. But if you're not accustomed to that, and your social life is not accustomed to that, and your family's not accustomed to that, chances are you'll be miserable and you won't stick it out. And then it ends up being one more diet that didn't work for you. So I highly recommend not following a specified amount of macronutrients that you follow, and just be very tuned into your body and the signs and the signals that your body sends you when you're consuming your food. The great thing about a lower carbohydrate type of lifestyle and intermittent fasting is they go so well together. If you are in a truly fasted state, in your sweet spot, which for the women in our course ends up being around that 20-hour mark, you have 4 hours to consume food. What ends up happening when you really dial in a good mix of high fat, moderate protein, and conscious carbohydrates for yourself is your hunger hormones balance out, all your other hormones balance out, and the need for an abundance of food is just not there anymore. So you naturally control the amount of fats, carbohydrates and proteins that you're consuming, because you're in control in your 4-hour window. You look at food differently, your cravings change, and you really dial into those signs and signals that your body's sending you, so you can consciously decide what good foods are for you and what not so good foods are for you based on those signs and signals. And so you naturally adapt a lifestyle that makes you look and feel your best while living your most authentic life. And it happens naturally. So we don't end up being crazy women. We don't end up being those women who go get invited to parties and we're miserable because we can't eat that and we can't eat this and we can't do that, and my diet says I can't do this and I'm not allowed this and that's bad for me. And we don't want to be those women anymore. We want to be free to live our life and be happy while having all the other things that we want to have. And that just takes going through the process of learning those signs and signals and then coming up with your own food groupings and your own meal plans and your own quantities and quality of food. I can't do that for you. Nobody else should be doing that for you. You should decide that for yourself through a little bit of trial and error. And that's exactly what we teach in the course. And we give you a safe environment to do that. So if you do an error, we help you get back to the trial side of things and just kind of revamp some stuff and go back to the drawing board and figure out ways that you can tweak some things that are going to work best for you. But it really should be a natural process, and it should make common sense so that you don't have to exit your life. Because if you have to exit your life to adapt to a food style or a diet plan, you're only going to stay there for the short term. And then if you only stay there for the short term and you don't learn anything about food and how it affects you as an individual woman, and you don't understand what your body needs to look and feel its best, and you're not feeling very authentic about what you're doing, then you're going to go off the deep end with your nutritional plans, and you usually go off the deep end in a bad way, where especially if you're really restrictive, then you sort of go back to some abundance type of living, and we're never happy there. So it really is the time for us as women, as we're aging, to be a little bit more in control and empowered about what it is we're doing for ourselves, and finally be in a position where we decide. Don't count on anybody else to feed you. You're a grown woman. You can feed yourself, and you can decide which foods work best for you to feed on. And that's the only way we're going to learn, and the only way we're going to be able to beat some of these things that we've been battling with our whole lives. Fighting the fat battle, fighting the weight battle, fighting the food obsession, addiction, avoidance battles, the social battles that we have with food, the guilt, the denial, the regret, all of that stuff. We shouldn't be living that way. We should feel happy and confident and comfortable around food. Food shouldn't be the enemy. It should be really what we use to make our bodies our best. So I would say I'll work on that. I'm 55 kilograms, 121 pounds. Is doing 20-hour fast daily a bit too drastic? I am mostly eating greens during my 4-hour window. Can't seem to down any chicken after the fiber load. Doing HIIT occasionally. I say if you're feeling good, it's not really anybody's decision to say if something's drastic if you feel great. So are you energized? Are you feeling optimistic about your life? Are you feeling in control about food? Do you feel like you're denying yourself? Do you have the energy to go about your day? You're doing HIIT workouts. That's a pretty decent way of working out. So if you're feeling great, then nothing's drastic. And I would say if you're feeling like maybe you're losing too much weight or you're not liking the way your body looks, then you switch up some stuff in your feasting window and then kind of see how that goes, or maybe shorten up your fasting window a little bit to just open up an opportunity to consume more food. Tina, you're welcome. Okay. I think that's everybody over there. Let me see what we got over here. Anything else? Is that Pellegrino? Yes, it is. It's my little bottle. I drink mineral water all day. I love Pellegrino. Let's see. Okay, that's it. So I don't have any more questions. I don't have any more comments. I just hope that you will take this information and maybe over the next couple of days in the course of your feasting, take a look at what you're consuming. Are you a woman who's over-consuming protein for fear that your body is not getting enough? Trust me, your body is getting enough. If you're plateauing, if you're not happy with your weight, if you're feeling like you are kind of stuffing protein in you all the time, or you're constantly seeking it out, just relax. Let it naturally fall within your plate. Let it naturally fall within your day. And before you know it, you'll start to see some of those really positive changes in your body. Make sure if you are fasting, you're in a truly fasted state so your body can have the opportunity to produce its own human growth hormone, which will do for you what protein does for you and help you create that lean muscle mass. Okay, I'm going to get out of here, go tuck my daughter in bed for the night, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't know the topic yet, so if you have something you want me to discuss, throw it at me via email, and I will make sure that we get it talked about here on our forum. If you're interested in joining the course, please check the links in both groups. We will make sure that we get you set up for next Saturday, and keep an eye out for the email that Kara will be sending out from us with all the information about how you can donate to the Hurricane Harvey relief effort via Team Rubicon. And if you have friends who would like a place to donate and a place that the money will go to a great cause, definitely feel free to share that link as well. And then I will keep you guys updated. I'll try to get a new tally tomorrow with what we have already for the month of September. Hopefully that'll fire you up, and then we'll see if we can get a goal set maybe and try to reach that goal. So have a good night tonight. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.